new opportunity, new Monday, new Triple M. It's the second half of 2017. What better time than right now to get on it? So I'm so excited for you guys. I'm so excited for all of us. Triple M is one of my favorite things in the world. Welcome to everybody tuning in live, everybody watching the recording, everybody that's about to get nuggets with us. Get your notebook ready. Today we're going to be working or listening about something that I think is the true difference maker in the world. It's called work ethic. So I want you guys to understand that we're in a very special time in history, because there was a time when no matter how much work ethic you put in, because you were in a certain caste, you were a certain color, you were a certain background, or whatever it is, that you couldn't change things very much. And thank God times have changed, because now you see people going from nothing to something all the time. Like, I don't know how many times you got to see it where you start to think, dang, maybe I could do it too. Like, the foreign-born millionaires are 4 times more likely. What does that mean? That people that move here from other countries are 4 times more likely to become millionaires, because it's possible with this thing we're about to go over. So get your notebooks ready. Put in your client threads if you're a coach on the team. If you're a client, put in your results thread. Hey, Triple M is live. Send them the link. Get them on. It's time to get fired up. Without further ado, work ethic. Triple M. Let's get it.
Whether it's 3 o'clock in the morning, by the way, when we were talking in London, I was getting up at 3 because I had to be on set by 7. So whatever time my call time is, and I tell this to studios and directors and our producers, whatever time my call time. So my call time is at 7, then you back your clock up 4 hours, and then that's when I get up and I'll train twice. I'll get my cardio in and breakfast, and then I'll go hit the weights. Clanging and banging, we call it. Jack and iron.
But, like, what time do you go to bed? I mean, you might shoot really late at night.
I'm averaging, on a movie, I'll average probably about 5 hours of sleep.
You know, hard work pays. I put in a hell of a lot of work all throughout this build-up in the fight. I pumped out more content than anybody, more content than Fox, more content than ESPN, more content than BT Sport, more content than everybody on the Mag Live on my own channels. You know what I mean? I'm a workhorse from all angles, not just in the gym. But I'm building this media empire now myself, and we pumped out the content. I'm very proud of how it went. We consistently, daily movies I was releasing, you know, from like a month ago, every single day. You know what I mean? Nobody's doing that. So I'm very proud of it, and I'm very, like, the work pays, hard work pays, and I put in the work, and that's why I'm sitting at the top. I put it all on the line. I show up, I perform, and I get the results from that.
I knew I was wired to be excited about business. How or why, I don't know. But, you know, and there's certain guys that have the genetics to jump out of the gym, right? There's certain guys, you know, that, you know, when they golf, they have the muscle memory and the discipline. You know, Dirk Nowitzki may not be the most talented guy in the NBA, but his discipline and his focus to do what's necessary to be successful, he's willing to do, and combine it with being 7 feet tall and being skilled, you know, it makes him an amazing basketball player. So it's understanding what your skill set is, finding the right place to use those skills, and then going for it. You know, will that make you 250 grand? It depends if you pick the right industry. But whatever industry you pick, if you outwork everybody, if you try to be a little smarter than everybody, if you try to be a better salesperson than everybody, if you try to be better prepared than everybody, you've got your best chance. Because if you don't do it and somebody else does, you know, I have the saying, work like someone's trying to take it all away from you. You know, I actually work like someone's spending 24 hours, working 24 hours to take it all away from you. And that's kind of the way I look at it.
I remember asking my dad to, I wanted new basketball shoes because I was a basketball junkie back then. He's like, well, your shoes work. If you want a new pair of tennis shoes, you have to go out there and get a job. And I'm like, Dad, I'm 12 years old. And it just so happens he was playing poker with his buddies, and one of his buddies was like, well, I got a job for you. I've got these garbage bags that we distribute.
They hit us with the loading? Come on, man. I need these nuggets. Dang. What's up, you guys? I don't know why it's pausing. But,
Pause it.
yeah, I'm pausing it. Couple takeaways so far. Write these down. Work like someone is trying to take it all away from you. That was a really powerful by Mark Cuban. Let me see if I can just fast forward a little bit. And it's not letting me. You won't even let me press play?
I've got these garbage bags that we distribute.
All right, so I'm going to reload it, but you heard from Dwayne Johnson talking about sleeping 5 hours a day, waking up 4 hours before his early call time. Ty Lopez here dropping some nuggets on it. You heard about Mark Cuban talking about making sure that your abilities and your passion align. What does that mean? He said, let's get back to him. He's about to drop it on.
Shoes, because I was a basketball junkie back then. He's like, well, your shoes work. I like to sell, and that I could sell, and that I recognized that selling was about providing a service and creating value for people, that I knew that I would, literally back then, I knew that I could always succeed. I remember I was 16, I think, when I started a stamp company and started going to stamp shows and trade shows and just working a little bit harder than other people and trading up from one stamp to the next. I remember one time I started with a quarter and bought a stamp and left with $50, thinking, hey, if I could do this, I could do anything. And it's not that everything worked. I failed a lot, but I never ever felt like I wouldn't be able to work hard enough to succeed.
And so the one thing my father gave me, which was really key, was that work ethic. That ability to get myself up in the morning, no matter how tired I was, to push myself through those pain barriers. And again, the combination of the loss of a mother at 6, and then being sent out to work at 10, starting work at 5 o'clock in the morning to do the milk round, being dropped off at 8:45 at school in the milk van. That work ethic. So that combination of those two, work ethic and great insecurity, was what got me to where I went to.
You tend to be incredibly modest in terms of describing your talents, and you always seem to belittle your abilities to a certain extent, when clearly there's a reason why everything you do has been working out. I was reading about how you said that to a certain extent that comes from your punk rock roots.
Yep, there was no other choice. In those days, there was no idea of this makes money. There's no idea of like this is my future. It was like a week at a time. We have 5 shows. We're going to get to Sunday. Whew. And even those days were like fraught with turbulence. And so I never really saw a future. None of us did. And some of us, didn't make it. Some of them are dead. And some of them are just kind of trying to recreate their past. And so I realized that I have to be very hardworking because I don't have kind of the ease of talent. And I come from that. And I think in a lot of ways it served me very well, in that I am as kind of hardworking as I've ever been, completely without confidence. I have none. I don't want any, because I think you turn your back on the thing, and that's when you get gored, is when you think, I got this. I never think I got this. I think, oh man, don't screw this up. And I go at everything, like including you and I sitting here right now. I'm trying to be fully engaged. And that intensity, I think, has served me quite well, but it comes from punk rock, absolutely. And the last boss I ever had was my boss at Haagen-Dazs, my ice cream job. And to this day, he still comes to my shows. And whenever I see Steve, who got me my first apartment, I was living in my car, he believed in me. Whenever I see him, I get all weepy. I always tell him, it's good to see you, sir. Henry, you can call me Steve. I can't do that, sir. Because he trusted me with his money. And I said, let me run your store. I know how to do this. I can do this. He's like, well, if you screw up, you're out of here. I said, I won't screw up. And I ended up I ran his store. And so, but it was anger that said, I'll be here all damn week. I'll get this whole thing right. I fired his staff and rehired a bunch of people who can really work. And it was out of anger. Like, I'll be back in 4 hours to run this $3.75 an hour job into the ground. And then I joined Black Flag, and I thought I was a hardworking person. Then you meet the guys in Black Flag who are so driven. You see Greg Ginn work 23-hour days. Like, Greg, you're still on the phone. I know. Greg, when did you eat? I don't know. Greg, when was the last time you showered? Do we have a shower? Like, the guy, we were not going to be stopped. And I kind of go at that intensity, kind of anything I do. Like, you're a very calm, good-looking young man. Look at me. I'm a spaz sitting next to you. Like, I'm doing an interview with you. I can't help it.
Focused.
I'm sweating, man. And so, but I'm like this going to the airport, like 10 miles out. And so it's anger that has informed kind of my life, and unflatteringly a sense of vengeance. Every damn person who said I wouldn't be anything, I'm crushing them every day. Everybody I had to endure in any band I was in every day into a powder. Yeah. Thank you. And I wish them no ill. I just wish to shine brighter, and if it burns my body to a crisp, I'm happy to go right now.
Go hard. And then when you think you're going hard, go harder. Like, that's really it. Just hustle. You know what I mean? There's nothing in life that you can't put enough work in every single day and not get better at. You know what I mean? If you want to be good at something, you know what I mean? Like, you can't just not do it every day and not get better. It's the same shit with music. It's the same shit with learning how to play an instrument or something. If you spend your time practicing your craft, that's really it. It's just, because nowadays it's with the internet, everything is so accessible, and everybody in the world is a rapper. You know what I mean? Everybody's putting music out, so it's how do you stand out? Quality is always gonna matter, but also being different. You can't try to be different, you know what I mean? But you just gotta be yourself.
How is it different today and doing your show late night than it was 10 years ago? Are you more instinctive? Are you more... Do you think less about it and just do it?
It's muscle memory.
It's
used to you,
like a golf swing.
You crunch down. You're constantly trying to learn. You're constantly. You're still thinking, but your ratio of thinking to acting is very different. You're at the beginning. I was thinking about it this much. In my cognitive brain, and then there was this much. Just whatever thin reed of talent you have is there, and then you're thinking about the rest. And then over the years, I think. They always say the reptile brain. The reptile portion of your brain is where respiration, heartbeat. Right. That's the stuff that even if you're knocked unconscious, it's still working. I really believe a lot of my talk show or comedy instincts are now in my reptile brain. That you could knock me out, and my heart would still beat, I'd still breathe, and I'd still be asking Lindsay Lohan, some stupid question.
You have become, some way, as part of your DNA. It's become part of your DNA.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of it is you have to have some ability, but then it's just how much will. I really do think there's just I think people underestimate. It doesn't sound sexy. It doesn't sound cool.
How much do you want it?
Work ethic, and just how badly do you want it? And there have been, many times in the throughout the years of doing my show where I've thought, you could shoot me in the chest before I walk out there, and I'll still walk out there and do that show, and then I'll come backstage and die. But we're doing that show.
The interesting thing for me to talk to you, and what makes you so fascinating, is the talent that you see on the screen. But at the same time, there is a certain innocence, and yet a certain power, and it seems to me that it's both artist and also business.
Oh, thank you.
But do you believe that?
Yes,
am I right?
I've worked very hard to make that.
To make it just that.
To make that true. So thank you.
Yeah. That it's both that.
Thank you. Well, because without gaining some sort of control over the business, I lose some control over the creative, which is most important. So
the more you control the business, the more you can give flower to the creative.
Exactly.
I'll give wings to the creative.
Yeah. So I used to stay out of it. I don't care. I don't want to. I am an artist. I don't need it. But this is my business now, and it's my. It is important that my agent always says I'm his only client that never calls him back as soon as because it's my business, and I respect my business.
Your agent says you're the only client that calls him back to say
immediately. If I have a missed call, I'm probably the only. I return emails, I return phone calls because
you want to know what the options there are.
Yes, I've worked really hard to build this, and I want to continue building it. And it's my business, my personal business. So I don't understand how people do slack.
I have a disease. I'm a workaholic, and it's like being an alcoholic. I just can't give it up. I've been unwell for 2 weeks, and I feel unwell. So I can't go to work. Because I can't go to work, I get worse. If I sit in one place, I'm stressed. The reason I'm not fidgeting too much is because I'm unwell. Otherwise, I hate sitting in one place. Some work has to be given to me. My wife and my children keep telling me that, you work 20 years round the clock. Why are you doing this? I don't think I need the money. I don't think I'm greedy for more fame. I'm doing okay. I can do one film in 2 years and be happy with it. But I'm just not happy. I tell everyone, if I'm not working, I'm depressed. So I don't know if it's a curse or a blessing. Maybe at the end of it all, when we die, God will say, did you work? I say, yes, a lot. Oh, damn, you go to hell because I didn't want anyone to work. Or it would be, oh, you worked. That's really nice because I wanted everyone to work. So I don't know. One of them is going to be right. But I just keep working. I think I have this fear that you have very few days in life and you need to cram it up with a lot of things. You need to fit it with so many things in it that you don't have space for life. It should be like that. When I'm not working, I get lonely, I get depressed, I get sad. I don't drink, I'm not a philosopher, I'm not a poet, that I like loneliness. I hate being alone. And I hate being with people at times. I'm unsocial. I'm very odd with people. So what happens is I have replaced people with work in my life. Because when I'm working, I'm with a lot of people. And there are people I can interact with because somewhere there is a wall that I'm not interacting with them socially. I'm interacting them through this common goal, that is the work. So I can discuss with her or discuss with him. And we are friends for that moment. Many of my filmmaking colleagues complain that after the film is over, you don't talk to us. I can't explain to them. I don't have anything else to say. I love you. I miss you. But I miss you through the work. I don't, I'm very fond of a lot of people. A lot of people I love like family. And I can't pick up the phone and talk with them. I can't socialize with them. I can't sit and chat with them. But when we are working, I can just be with them.
Awesome. Great stuff. A lot of great insights from a lot of great successful people. I'm going to give you guys a few takeaways. If you guys are at work and can't share live, no problem. Put it in the chat bar and your biggest takeaway. And everybody, you can type in where you're from so we can see the international that is Triple M. I'm going to give you a few of the takeaways that really stuck out to me. I really love the first one, like work like someone is trying to take it all away from you, because I do believe they are. Now, I don't believe it's a guy in an office somewhere that's like, yo, I'm trying to take their money. I think that there's a force called drifting, which is where you leave things to just whatever, that the natural inclination is that things are going to get taken away. Because put it like this, if you have something you love, like say you love this book, you're like, hey, I really love this book. And you leave it outside on the park for 3 weeks. Never look at it, never go to look for it, don't put anything over it. You think it's going to be the same as when you left it? It's going to be corroded. It probably won't be there. It's going to be all dirty and dingy. Why? Because those things that you don't intentionally protect, grow, evolve, all those things, there's natural forces that take it the other way. So work like someone is trying to take it all away from you. For real. Next one. I'm going to give you decrease your thinking to acting ratio. I really like that. Conan O'Brien, who's a talk show host, he said, you know what? In the beginning, it was a lot of thinking, and then it was acting. And he said as he's done it more, his thinking to acting ratio has come down. And then now he's done his craft, his passion so much that it starts to become his habits, who he is. He's like, you could knock me out, I'd still be asking weird questions. Because he's done it so much, and he said, you know what? It's not going to be because of something that sounds sexy or fun or cool. It's going to be because of repetition and hard work. And I say that because for me, that asked me, okay, I could either take that literal, like, yo, man, do I work on a TV show to ask questions so much that I know how to do it? No. It's like, what is your passion that you love so much that you believe you were called to bring purpose into the world for? Are you doing it at a level that you would be able to do it with not a lot of thinking? You would be able to do it, you know, like you said, you got shot in the chest, still do a thing. If you had the stomach flu, would you still be able to do it? Because you put so much work into it that those things couldn't stop you. And it's become a part of you. Maybe it's being a mom. Maybe it's starting a business. Maybe it's being a coach on the team. Maybe it's getting in the best shape of your life. Maybe it's traveling the world. I don't know what it is, but I do believe you were called to do something. So that leaves two questions. Am I doing that thing I know I'm called to, or am I not? And you just saw somebody successful say, hey, I've done it so much. I put in so much work that even if something were to happen, I've got it so deep inside of me that I could do it without a lot of thinking. I thought that was really powerful because it takes the work ethic they were talking about. You got some takeaways you want to share? Give us a nugget.
My major nugget was work as if there's someone working to take it all away from you. Like, work that insanely hard every single day from the moment that you get up. Like, don't allow any minute to be wasted. Like, one of our team members, his name is Sam, and he talked about how we only have 86,400 seconds in a day. And he talked about how, for instance, every single day, imagine if you had 86,000.4 in your account. Like, wouldn't you want to go spend it all and use it, because every single day your account would be wiped? And that for me is a mentality. Like, every single day work so freaking hard. Like, people are trying to take it all away from you. And when you act out of that, like, you will just go beast and you'll do amazing, amazing things. Why? Because you're working so freaking hard towards your goals and your dreams.
Love that. Love that. Here's a few takeaways from the chat bar. We got Nancy from Texas, Sabrina from Texas. Man, shout out to Texas. Miami, I see you. We got Selena. It's my business. I have to care and do. I have to return a call and email. I don't understand how people slack. We can slack and not know, or catch ourselves and jump back into the grind. This is one hit. In Herbalife, if we want to, we have to work for it. The muscle is the memory. We can't sit still. We must spend time practicing our craft. I love that. When the lady was like, hey, I don't understand how people slack. I don't either. Like, you got stuff to do. What you doing? I asked somebody. I see some people sitting around. I be like, what you doing sitting around? What you doing watching TV? There's a whole world out here. There ain't nothing but space and opportunity. What you doing sitting down? That's what I think sometimes. But maybe it's just me. All right, let's get into a couple live shares. Give me a thumbs up or a smile if you're excited to share. Thumbs up, smile. Look at me. Sabrina from Sabinal. What you got for us?
Hey, what's up, guys? Happy Monday. Okay, so my takeaway was quality will always be the difference. That speaks volumes to me, because at our STS trainings, they always talk about quality and how Herbalife is all about giving somebody the best customer service experience. And with so many other things out there nowadays, he's right. Quality is the difference. And I believe it's so important to give, a potential client, everything that Herbalife has to offer, just adding to as far as quality and giving them the best customer service, because that's what's going to make a difference. So that was my big takeaway.
Nice. Love that. Quality always matters. That was a big one. Love that. Great work. Give me a smile, thumbs up if you're excited to share. Ashley Ann, what's up? What you got for us?
So great morning, guys. Happy Monday. So my takeaway was, you can have ability, but you have to have phenomenal will. Like, you really have to put your best foot forward every single day in everything you do, and keep pushing forward no matter what. Like, you have to give yourself that list of no matter what and push forward. So that one was huge, because I just recently really started getting into every single day writing down my goals. Like, I'll write down like things I'm grateful for, but now I've added on what goals that I want to hit. Like, these are my goals. These are what I'm going to hit. This is what I'm going to do. And I have to keep going after those things. And it could be baby steps. It doesn't need to be, I'm going to do a marathon like in one day. It's going to be, let me build up to that. But these are my goals for today. So yeah.
Love that. Love that. Building it and making it intentional and doing it all the way. I love it. Maria from Miami, some takeaways: understanding what your skill set is and going for it. Put in the work. Ability and passion have to be in alignment. Have the ability to push through the pain. It's not easy, but it must be done. Be hardworking when you don't have the ease or the ease of talent. Fully engage and continue the intensity you have when you began. And last, be you. There's no one out there like you. I love that. Awesome, you guys. We got time for one more takeaway. If you got something you're like really excited to share, give me a thumbs up or a smile. We got time for one more. Everybody's thinking about it. I'm going to give you one more while you guys are thinking about it. I really like this one. In the beginning, it was one of the guys who said he used to wake up at 5 a.m. to go to the milkman and do that work. And he said, you got to do the things even when it doesn't feel good. He said, get yourself up in the morning no matter how tired you are. And for me, I'll be honest, I wasn't a morning person. I wasn't in the past. It wouldn't feel good to get. I would be like, man, how could it be good for you if it feels so bad? It feels so natural to sleep. Like, let my eyes wake up when they want and I'm feeling all good. But then I'm late on the day. Then other people have gotten to be all their things that they were going to get successful with, and I'm still waiting here. And I saw as time went on that there started to be people that were successful that woke up earlier. And I started to be like, why? But it's the same hours in the day, and if I work late, and I'm not saying you have to be a morning person, but what I will say is that there's something about the discipline first thing in the morning that you say, hey, I'm going to get up at this time because this is the time for my success, and whether I feel like it or not, I'm going to do it. And there's something about pushing through that barrier he talked about. He's like, you got to push through that pain threshold to get to all the success on the other side of it. And that first thing in the morning, there's a pain threshold. It hurts to get up. I don't know about y'all, but the bed is comfy. We sleeping with the pups. They all cuddled up. You know, it probably ain't. I don't know if it's the brightest. Maybe it's cloudy. It's overcast. But it's like something about pushing through that initial pain that sets the tone for the day. And there's something about when you push through the pain of those things that you don't want to do, that all your success is on the other side of it. When you do that squat workout, when you do those sprints, when you eat that kale and protein versus the cookie and the muffin, it takes some pain to say, nah, man, no cookie and muffin today. That's some pain. It's easier to do the cookie and muffin. You ain't got to put in no work to do the cookie and muffin. But those things you got to put in work for yield the best results. So I really love when he talked about that, you guys. Let's have a great, great week. I'm going to take everybody off mute. Where y'all at? Give me some energy. Let's get it.
Monday.
You guys have a great Monday. Share the recording, share the flyer, share your takeaways. Do not leave it with you. And have a great second half of the year. July is here. Peace.